Welcome back everybody. How you guys, girls doing today? I hope you're doing great. Anyways, today is the day when I start replacing my home surveillance system. So it's been on the cards for some time. I have cameras all over the house purely for security, even though I live in a very safe country, but just I travel a lot just to make sure I can keep an eye on the house when I'm not around, etc. Right? So about, I would say, I don't know, 7 years ago or so, I've installed the D-Link home surveillance cameras. So here is the picture of one of the cameras that I have throughout my apartment. They're all connected obviously to the network. They all have recording, so there's a central network recording device, but over the last year or so they became quite flaky. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. One camera completely went offline recently, and also the recording device has been a bit flaky as well. So I think the time has come to start looking at some of the replacements. So I've done some research. I haven't decided on what I'm gonna buy or what system I'm gonna use, but I will try out few systems and see how they work, or if I like them or not, and then once I've decided on the one I like, I'll obviously buy the rest of the cameras. So the first camera I've decided on and I've bought and it's now arrived is this one. So it's a Eufy, or Eufy, whatever you want to call it, Security. It's not an expensive camera, but it does work with Apple HomeKit, Google Assistant, and Amazon. So that kind of was one of the advantages I thought for it. It does have 2K video. It has all the motion detectors, etc. Right? But what we'll do is we'll open it up, we'll set it up, see how it works, and we'll try to figure out, and obviously do some comparison to existing D-Link cameras I have, both in during day and at night. So let's see how it does. So let's get into it. Let's open it up first, obviously, see what's in the box and how it looks, and then we'll try to set it up at least and see how it compares to what I have now. So let's see. I have to say, well packed, I guess. So there is a box of, I guess, cables or anything, and there's a camera here. So first thing I can say straight away, it's a lot smaller than what I have right now. Not a lot, but maybe 40% smaller, which is good. Another thing I always look for the cameras is ability to tilt and pan them remotely, because I do have quite large areas in the house, and it's always good to be able to rotate the cameras, right? So a lot of cameras by default just go straight out of my possibility of trying, right? So nicely looking camera, not heavy, relatively light, nice lens protector, I guess. So basically that's the camera. It has a power, obviously, and the setup switch. Now the switches, what I don't see is, and I guess maybe it's here, basically, if you can see this little edges here for the ceiling mounting or the up top mounting, right, upside down. But we'll open this box and see what's inside, and there is actually a mounting kit for the ceiling. So let's get into it. Okay, so what do we have here? Obviously the USB cable. Surprisingly, it's still not using USB-C, just using a normal mini USB, I think it's called, but it's okay. At least we've got a cable. Okay, that looks like a power plug, and got the instruction manual, we've got positioning card. We'll have to figure out what that's for. And yes, we do have the mounting kit, which is good. So that's also a lot smaller than the previous D-Link one, and we have here, I won't open up, but it has a couple of screws and like a plastic bit where you put the screw in. So okay, so what I guess you do is you screw this one into the ceiling or into whatever bit you want, or the wall, and then what you do is you just put the camera and you rotate it to lock in, and it locks in, and to remove it you just rotate it and it comes out. So first thoughts, yep, definitely a smaller camera than what I have right now, definitely a smaller mounting kit, which is a good thing, so it will take up less space. So what do we do next? I guess we'll have to set it up, right? So let's get into the setup. Okay, so the setup, I will obviously check quickly the instruction manual, but I don't think it's going to be too complicated. And you know, based on this first thing, obviously, as with most devices now, we need to download the app, right? So we'll pop up the mobile screen here. We'll go to our Apple Store. Too many apps now. I need to find the Apple Store, and we'll look for Eufy Security. So EUFY, and we have it right here. So, and we've got Eufy Security. We'll get this downloaded, and then we'll hopefully set up the camera. Okay, and we'll quickly, okay, so the basic instruction is download the app, create the account if you don't have one, which I don't, and follow the instructions in the app, right? So that's what we'll do. We've got the app now downloaded. We'll create an account. Need to verify our email. Let's see. Verification code. 121. Okay, we'll submit this one, and hopefully that's all we need to do. Okay, maybe later. So let's go back to the app. Where's the app? Here. Okay, open mailbox, done. Okay, now we should be able to log in. Okay. Let's try it again. Okay, my home data. Let's go OK. Allow. Do you want to turn on two-factor authentication? Not now, because we're just doing it for testing. Got it. Okay. Cool. Now, obviously the account is set up, so let's get the camera connected. What I'll do is I'll plug it in. Cable here. Hopefully it will generate enough power. We have a camera, and we power the camera on. Okay, the light is on, so we'll go add device, and let's see which camera it is. We need to pick the camera. I guess that's indoor. I'll have the box. Let's see if it has any name of the camera or any model number or anything like that. Something in the box. Well, we'll pick this one, indoor. Okay, we go next. Plug the device into outlet before mounting and proceed with wait until the LED turns solid blue. Okay, so we can see the LED is solid blue, and we'll go next, and we go okay. Now use your camera to scan the QR code located at the bottom of the camera. So we have the camera, we'll take the phone. Cool, we scanned it. Okay, hold the setup button on the back of the camera for 2 seconds until you hear a beep. Okay, let's do this. 1, 2. We've heard the beep. The status light turns to flashing blue. Okay, and we can see it's flashing blue. Okay. Heard the beep? Yes. Yep. Okay, so it's connecting to the camera. It will ask for Wi-Fi and the password. Okay.
Connecting to the Wi-Fi network. Please wait.
Well, the camera talks. Let's see what happens now. Hopefully I've remembered my Wi-Fi password. But so far I can say from memory of...
Setup was successful.
Cool, so the camera is connected. Okay, so where do we put it? So let's put it into the... Not sure why the living room has the bed in it, or maybe it's a couch. So we'll put it in the living room for now. We'll go next. No micro SD card detected. Okay, so just a sec. I will go get the SD card and we'll come back and we'll continue the setup. Okay, I'm back, got the SD card, so let's get it opened up and continue with the setup. So I'll use the 64 gig SD card. I think it should be enough. I don't need a lot of storage. Just, you know, if I can go back a day or so, maybe it only will record. Let's see. Come on. Okay, so got the SD card. Okay, the good question is, where do you put the SD card? Right, because I cannot see any slots for it. Interesting. Well, there's also nothing where it says to put the SD card. Not that I can see any slots. Check again. Okay, if you don't have a support to make sure you have a micro SD card, it's going to work properly. If you have already inserted a must reinsert it and check again. Ah, here is the slot, found it. So it's at the bottom of the lens, right? So you just rotate the lens up and you insert the SD card in there. Cool. And we'll go check again. Let's format it. Format. Okay, and it says it will take about a minute, which happened a lot faster, which is good. But the camera should be working, and as you, I don't know if you're seeing on the screen, but there is already a notification coming up. So SD card formatted successfully. We'll go next. Okay. What do you want? This is the good thing, right? So you can actually pick where you want to move the camera. So I guess it will rotate the picture accordingly, right? So in the case of testing, obviously we'll have it here on the table, and I will put a table or shelf. Recommended height. Okay, so we'll take a note of that one. Mounting note, we'll skip that one. So your camera is mounted successfully, so let's give this a try. We'll enable the Face ID. Okay. No, we don't want on this device only, we want to do on other devices as well. So let's see if the camera is connected. Hopefully we can push play. And yeah, as you can see, we can see the picture. It's on my arm. You can tilt it up or up, down, left and right. And another thing, what I've noticed just now, the rotation of the camera is quite silent compared to the D-Link ones. Again, the ones I have right now, because they ones you can actually, when you're in a room and someone is rotating a camera, you can hear the rotation. So basically you have the record button, screenshot, round look, and you can play sound. So really generic features. I guess what it comes down to is basically just setting it up in a proper environment and recording few, screens in a daylight, at night, and then comparing it. So that's what I'll do now. So what I'll do is I'll set it up, and then we'll look in some recordings and compare them and see which one is better and how it works both in day and night. So let's get into that now. Okay, cool. So I've done the recordings. I've recorded both cameras, so the old 7-year-old D-Link camera and the new Eufy camera, both in light and in a full darkness, right? So we can see how they operate. Before I say what I think about it, let's look at the light video first, and I'll pop it up now. Okay, cool. So I think both cameras perform well, and I think both cameras have a nice image. As you can see, there's a bit of jitter on the Eufy camera, but that could be due to because it's connected to Wi-Fi and the link still connected by the gigabit cable. So that could be, you know, the issue. Otherwise, I think the picture is good, and you know, both of them is fine in light. So now let's take a look at the dark mode in the full darkness. And also what I'll do is I'll put the same view from iPhone 14 so you can see what the actual iPhone 14 will see. Cool. So I think, you know, watching that videos, right, and performance-wise, D-Link did perform well. I have to say, D-Link still, even though it's a 7-year-old camera, it still works very well. Yes, some cameras are having issues now, but overall, if it works well. Eufy camera, obviously new technology, a lot more features, tracking, and you know, in settings you can play around who to track: humans, animals, you know, other objects, etc. Right? So I think Eufy is obviously a better choice, right? It has a great quality picture both in light and in darkness. The tracking works extremely well. The camera is very quiet. So, you know, overall, I think for what I need, it's great. And I guess the only test left is to try and connect it to Google Home and see what happens, and what, you know, if I can get any decent functionality with the camera from actual Google Home. Don't know what's going to happen, but we'll give it a try now. So it's time to connect the camera to Google Home and see what happens. So I'll pop up the screen here, the mobile screen, and we'll go through the process. So first we'll go to our Google Home, and we'll go set up device, and we'll go works with Google, and we will try and search for Eufy Security. Here we go. So it's here. Please log in, and we will select the region where I am, and it's here. Okay, and we will log in into our account. Okay, password. Okay, let's authenticate. Okay, two-factor authentication, let's see, and okay, so it needs PIN number. Okay. So we'll do the two-factor authentication. Confirm. Okay, and it's linked. Okay, and it found it, obviously got the device. We'll go next. We'll set it to home. We'll set it to the living room. Okay, so that should be done. Ah, here we go. Okay, so it says you can't see the video feed on your mobile, which is a bit disappointing, right? So it kind of really defeats the purpose of having it all in one, but it does say that you can do it on a smart display. So let's try and go to my smart display and see if we can pull the video feed there, just out of interest. I mean, no one's gonna look for a video feed on a smart display, especially if you know, at home. But just out of interest, let's give it a try. So we'll go to the smart display. I'm gonna pull it off here. Let's put it here so you can see the smart display. All right, so let's give it a try. Home control. We'll go into rooms, into living room, and let's try the camera. Yep, and you can see, I guess you can see, you can pull the video feed from the camera onto the smart display. So in theory, if you do have the camera outside, yeah, you probably can view it on a smart display. Also, if you have smart dashboards, I will pause that one. So I guess if you have smart dashboards, you probably can do it as well. I will give it a try. I have a Home Assistant dashboards in the house, so I can give that a try as well. But a lot of functionality, since you know this is at the end of the day a home camera, right? It's not for outdoor use, unless you have a palace and you want to see what's happening in another palace. You probably do know what's happening in your next room. So a lot of usage out of connecting it to Google Home? Probably not. It does obviously work, it does connect, but the functionality is limited, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I guess all the functionality goes through the app. I've heard, I haven't tried it, but I've heard there's similar situation with Google cameras. You know, you have to have a third-party app for all the functionality, and very limited functionality through Google Home. Maybe it will change in the future, maybe not, but let's see. But overall, you know, if I were to talk from the camera perspective, right, and you know, I guess you can see the status of the camera on the mobile, but I think it's a great camera for the price. It's only about, it's under $50, right? So for the price, the quality, the design, the performance of the camera is great. Are there other cameras out there? Yeah, definitely. There's huge amount of cameras. Am I gonna try a lot more? Probably not. I think I may try one or two more, just for comparison purposes. I'll do some more research, but I think for now, if I were to, you know, make a decision now, I would go ahead with these cameras around the house without any issue. I think they great. They, from what I've seen, it performs great, and overall, it's a really good little device. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, subscribe, and see you next time. Have a great day.